Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? My name is Amanda, and this is the AGP podcast. As you can see right over there, got to figure my thing out. There you go. I got my friend Howie Noel joining me today. How you doing, Howie?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Let's get past the 5 minute mark. So everybody, cross your fingers.
True. That's true. I don't know if anybody, no, nobody knows this. Well, a couple people were watching when we went dead.
Yeah, it did. I was like, oh no, that's horrible. I can't believe this. It's happened that it happened. And I have to give you props, man. I went back and I rewatched it. I was like, he's doing so good. He should have his own show.
I couldn't tell who was watching. That was the tough part.
Yeah, because you're not the moderator, so you couldn't pull anything up. And I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. But anyway, Howie, for anybody who may not know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Howie Noel. I'm the creator, writer, and artist of a couple independent comic book series. One is Paranormal, which people might recognize from Tap's Paramagazine. It's the magazine of ghost hunters, and it's a very popular webcomic. We won a couple of awards, and also Float, which was very popular on Kickstarter. Float is my graphic memoir about generalized anxiety disorder. And also I do caricatures, and you might have seen my work of The Walking Dead because it got very popular with the show's fans. And we got to give all the art that I did to the stars of the show. So,
Yay! By the way, I saw your unboxing video.
yes, that yesterday we got the new book in. The new book, which is it's Paranormal, the complete webcomic collection, is still, you can still get it on Indiegogo with their you're able to back it and reserve a copy, which is really cool. And then they just show how that adds to what we got on Kickstarter. So it's always going in, and I have a reveal here. First time ever on a show. There you go.
Bam!
There it is. Boom. With the Paranormal bookmark. And yeah, it's really cool. I really like this. It's so cool. That's one of the best parts about making a book is seeing them in person for that first time. So it was cool to share that with everybody. We did the live unboxing on Facebook, and it's just really, it's such a neat format. We haven't done a format like this, so it really harkens back to the original Archie books.
Mm-hmm.
How they fit in your hand. It's just really cool, and I think it fits the Paranormal webcomic so well because the webcomic is such a fun adventure, and you can take that book wherever you want eventually when we're allowed out of our homes again. But you can take it outside, and read outside. And I wanted to make something that was compact because I think this series is more kid friendly. And kids, like, I remember I'd always carry books with me everywhere when I was a kid. So I wanted to make something that was travel friendly and also just fun to fit in your hands when you read.
Well, I think it's amazing that you do have a children's book. Like you mentioned, right now times are really hard with everything that are happening, and many children are indefinitely off from school, and so they're reading more than ever. What do you think? Why do you think it's so important that there's more children books out there, more children's stories that might be able to even tell lessons to help kids nowadays?
I think it's important because I think the most important thing to me right now, as far as what comics can do, is escapism. So that was one of the reasons that we did this Kickstarter way before any of this ever happened, and it was delayed getting them because of what happened. Everybody's been hit hard, much harder than just shipping problems, something like that. But my main thing throughout this was what can I do, and the most I can do is offer you some escapism and entertainment, and nothing that focuses on what we're going through. So that's why I think Paranormal is a great series. It's as far removed from this situation as can be. She fights ghosts. She fights monsters. There's a lot of humor, especially in the webcomic series. The webcomic series is very colorful, very fun. lots of crazy stuff happens. A 70-foot tall Teddy Roosevelt appears out of the out of the Baltimore Harbor, and she has to fight him. So stuff like that. If I thought of it, it happens in the book, and I think it's that one's more like kids can read the webcomic too, and it's not as the webcomic's not as scary as the other series. But I mean, when I would do conventions, kids like the webcomic series. You forget when you're a kid, you forgot that you liked all the creepy stuff. And because I was reading Mad Magazine and Tales from the Crypt when I was a little kid, and I always liked the horror stuff. So
Yeah.
I just try to keep it PG-13, as much as possible. And they're little kids reading The Walking Dead. So I mean, I mean that's what I've discovered. But my main thing is I put my comics, and I'm still putting them. I decided to put every page of my series up on my website at hcnoel.com. So I wanted people to be able to read them, because if they didn't have the chance before, it wasn't like when it first started, they could ship them to you. No, I mean, the post office is not the best place to stand during all this, because even normal times they didn't know social distancing. So I wanted to make sure you could get this, and I knew people were losing jobs and stuff like that. So I mean, I lost a lot of work because of it. Look at the conventions, they're gone. And caricature, I do live caricatures, that's taking a huge hit. I mean, you can't host a party. I mean, so I wanted to, what I can do is do that. Like, I can draw people from home. I can draw you from a picture. I can do all these. I still can do all that. But also I wanted to go, well, you know what? My response to this is, here's the comics on my site now. So enjoy them, please. This is your chance. If you always wanted to check them out, if you wanted something new, because I know they stopped delivering comics on Wednesdays to the stores, and those stores are hurt, and people were looking for stuff to read. Well, here's a bunch of new series on my site, and you can just enjoy.
And I think that's admirable of you. Why do I hear an echo? Do you hear an echo?
Not on you, no.
Okay. Anyway, I think it's really admirable of you for the fact that not only are you still trying to make sure there's a way to be able to support your family and be able to make money, but you're actually helping out in a time where everybody needs some form of entertainment, some form of being able to keep their mind off of stuff, putting all of that up there for free for people to read. I think that's amazing of you.
Oh, thank you. It's honestly the least I could do. I just wanted to feel like I could do something. And the discussion I saw some discussion of, we'll start our own distribution, and I'm like, you shouldn't be shipping. You shouldn't be
right.
You shouldn't be gathering people to ship, and the stores are forced to close. So I can't do anything about that. I had to stop my Kickstarter shipping because I can't risk myself
right
to go out. I mean, I'm in a kind of an urban area as far as that. But now things are starting to, relax a bit, and I am able to resume shipping. And I have been able to do orders from my site because I was doing fulfillment for the prints through another place, so it's not me. So I was able to ship that way, which was great. So I could still carry on with that. But it's just a unique, hopefully once in our lifetime situation. I mean, I don't want any more.
We don't know.
Yeah, I know. So the best way to do it is not to. I've seen some responses that I felt were like weirdly self-promotional and weirdly trying to, I don't know, squeeze money out of people when that's not the time.
Right. With so many people on unemployment. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really I was always into webcomics before, and my plan was always to some way get them to them, because my main thing and during all this is, well, at least I want you to have some entertainment and be able to read it, That's the least I can do. So I'm trying to do weekly drawing videos now. Started last Wednesday, and going to try to keep doing that, And I mean, I just want to find a way to, because I think it's very therapeutic art, and I always feel relaxed when I read comics and enjoy them, and I feel more relaxed when I'm creating. So hopefully we can share that with everybody, and give some entertainment.
Awesome. Now, I know that you write, you draw, you do a lot of this on your own, but I also know that you have collaborated in the past. And a lot of times making comics often requires collaborations with others. How do you foster your relationships, and how would you tell people to approach when it comes to a collaboration process?
Collaboration's very hard, is what I've learned. I have some. I have done collaborations in the past. Paranormal Book 2, Season of Evil, featured a whole anthology section, which is a collaboration with me and a bunch of fellow artists and writers. It was very difficult because as an artist, I'm very sympathetic to what artists go through and how hard it is, and you're asking them to do you a favor and you have to work in their schedules. So I'm more relaxed as far as that. But I did see, there were stories that never made it into that book because people said they kind of dragged me along as if they could do it and then they couldn't. And so you learn a lesson of be upfront with somebody that I can't do this. That's much better than saying, oh, I can do it and now I can't. Because the train is rolling along. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm totally fine if you can't do it. So that taught me to be upfront, honest. I don't have appreciation for how much goes into comics. It's that art form is very difficult and so much work. And you have to be honest about what the payoff is going to be and what the result. So the appreciation should be the enjoyment of the work, the enjoyment of doing, and you just have to know that when you're collaborating with somebody that you're dealing with another personality. And if you're doing an anthology, it's a whole set of personalities.
Right.
And learning to say no is okay. Yet don't feel the need to say yes to everything you get.
Right.
It's just not gonna, and remember how I've learned how much work it actually is. It's a lot of work for me. And because I like to do it, I like to do every step of it, and I noticed that's not normal. I've noticed a large number of the people in comics do not understand that I do every step, and some are upset that I do every step. I know there's a lot. I've had somebody say to me, you should just realize how jealous we are that you can do all of it, and I was like, what? I couldn't believe he said it to me because I shared hey, support your artist friends,
Right.
I shared that meme, whatever. And he didn't consider himself an artist, I guess. He goes, I can only write. I'm like, writing's an art form.
Right.
So here's the thing. I learned along this journey that people have a lot in their own minds.
Of self-doubt.
Yeah, or whatever. And there are people out there will be jealous of what you have, and you discount what you have. So they're jealous of something that they have no idea,
Right.
But he was like, I'm jealous that you're jealous of what my daily pain, like my daily killing myself to get an original idea out there where nowadays everything's marketing, everything's a corporate owned thing. It was just weird, so get past all that and find good people that I guess aren't going to.
Right. And that kind of gets me sad because I've dealt with the not feeling like I'm up to par, being able to do what I do.
Hold on, we got dogs. Be right back. There we go. That's all fixed. All right. Yeah.
Did Shelly say
Yeah, she came in and fixed it.
Yay, Shelly!
They can psychically tell when she's home. So,
but the guy, he has self-doubt, but instead of looking inward to see what he could do to either better what he's doing or realizing what he has is just his talent, he deflected it and went after you, and that's really sad. When you have self-doubt about yourself, you really need to look inward. I can't tell you how many times I've doubted, doing the gaming stuff or doing this podcast every time something's gone wrong. But you just have to look and go, I couldn't fix this. I could fix this. And you've been around since I started this. How many times have I revamped this podcast?
Well, it's hard. It's hard to put something out there. It's hard. It's the hardest thing in the world to do something, to actually do it, finish it, and put it out there. Okay, and that's one of the number
Terrifying.
one things you hear when conventions was, "Oh, I don't know if I should put it out. What if it gets?" I would always hear this: "What if somebody steals it?"
I'm sorry. I've had way too many conversations on this subject with you.
Yeah. What if somebody steals it? Guess what? I hate to tell you this, they're going to. They're going to constantly, and if that's then don't do it.
Right.
Well, you dig a little. This one guy that said that, but he dug a little deeper. He just wanted to be famous, and I was like, you want to do a comic to be famous? Like he literally said it after because you dig down, you're like, well, people are going to take no matter. People bootleg all the time now and pirate,
Oh yeah.
um, but you dug a little deeper, and he said he wanted to be famous. I said, you should just play video games online because you'll get way more quicker attention. Honestly, if you're good at the video game and have a personality, it's more accessible than a book. To
Right.
get people to a niche art, it's an art form that a select few appreciate.
Right. But
That's
even
so
then,
weird.
even then, still, if you're just doing whatever you're doing just because you want to be famous, people are gonna eventually see that in you. You
Yeah,
have a love and a passion for what you're doing.
yeah. It was very odd, but he also claimed to have a 600-page book that he just wasn't sharing, and I was like, 600 pages. It's like you have a Game of Thrones novel just sitting there,
What
finished,
the?
and you're not sharing. I mean, it was the weirdest conversation.
Oh
It's the most extreme of the conversations I've heard the common thing is I'm scared to share it because somebody might take it. And I'm like, I'm scared every time, and people have taken my stuff and continue to do so. So what? I mean, it sucks. It sucks. But I mean, if you share a picture on Instagram, somebody's going to take it. And now they put them on shirts. I mean, that's the new reality. So my thing is, I just want people to enjoy my stories, discover them. Hopefully, it entertains them and they like it and they follow along. That's my main.
right.
I wanted to tell stories.
And another thing that I always hear people talk about is, well, what if people don't like it?
Oh, they're not going to. I mean, like that. There's going to be people that love it, and you need to focus on that.
Right.
I'm naturally to my to my self detriment, I tend to focus on negative things, and I'm working very hard to not do that. You have to. I always make a point to appreciate those. There's people that have been with me since day one of the webcomic, and they continue. Now, there's I support them. They support me, and I support them, and people are gonna fall off along the way. It's been 10 years. We're in the 11th year of this. They're not always going to be, but I have people since the beginning. I have people who know me from my first book, Mr. Scoodles, who followed along with that. They've been there since early 2000. That's amazing to me. They still follow along. I consider them friends and family, and you just keep going on. I mean, yes, now anybody can review, and I mentioned this in another interview. Now it's treated like Yelp.
Right.
Comics are now, yeah. When I started, there were review sites, or you had Wizard Magazine all the way back with print media. There's actual, reviewers and stuff. Now anybody, if they get your comic for free as a giveaway, well, they have the right, now they have the right to, they're just going to review it, and sometimes they're very angry. And I mean, you get reviews I like reviews because I would get constructive criticism that would help. You're not going to get that.
No.
That's gone. I mean, a lot of that is gone. There's just a lot of, sadly, people are negative and they're doing something's wrong on their end, and they take it out on sometimes independent creators. I don't know why.
Well, and this is any form of media whatsoever, no matter what you're doing, whether it's comics or you're gaming online or you're podcasting. Especially, you've seen a lot of it nowadays when people are doing their Zoom meetings. You have these trolls; they're just coming in. They like to
Really?
badger people. It's their whole. It's their. Why is your entire existence about making someone try to feel bad about themselves? Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't leave reviews. Like I don't leave like I don't do that, but um I don't know. I don't know. The one weird review I got was I didn't the person left a review and it said I wanted this to be iZombie and it's not iZombie. I don't know what to do about that. So
Go
that's
watch iZombie because this has nothing to do with. This is a ghost. This is paranormal.
like Tara's alive.
Like,
Like she's not undead. So, but also it's also like the comic iZombie isn't like the show iZombie. So which iZombie do you want? Because if you
right.
read the iZombie comic, it doesn't match up with the show.
Nope.
And also, it does not say iZombie on the cover. But that is just left. That's left as another review, like all of the reviews. You know, it's like you don't know what's going on, and that doesn't help me. Like, there's nothing I can do constructively about that. It's not
Right.
iZombie. I'm sorry.
No.
But
Now,
that's
for
the
me,
kind of thing you're going to get as a creator. You're going to get that, and I'll always remember that. I tell that story all the time. I think it's pretty hilarious if you look at it. Like, I was like, oh, that's not on me. Okay. You really didn't like it, but it's not on me. Because then for every one of those, there's several people that love it and it inspires them, you know, and they get a tattoo and stuff like that. I mean, they wear the shirts. That's so, I mean, it's
like what you're wearing.
yes, got my own branding here. I'm more professional on this second.
Which is funny because I'm like, this is part of my Star Wars 2-day event, so I'm not even wearing my branding. It all has to be the Star Wars stuff because that's what I've been focusing on for the last 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, we're in Terranormal branding right now. It's May the 5th. So, the Terranormal anniversary month is April, but we're continuing it because we're all in quarantine. We're just continuing this for months and months.
Right.
But so for somebody that's going to create something and say, what if they hate it? People will hate it. And there's a lot of negativity, and negativity is easier. It's much harder to get somebody to be passionate and share that love and, you know, go out and fight for you and stuff. And I've been fortunate enough to have projects that do inspire a lot of positivity. And it's just sometimes human nature to look at the negative stuff and just, you can't. So for anybody that wants to do something, just do it, because so many people do not do it. And you know, and my only advice is it's very fulfilling to create something. So don't listen to that, because it is. Any worry you have is going to happen. I am the proof of that. My worst nightmare came true with this creation. So it happens, and you're defined by how you respond to that. So say your worst case scenario happens. You're defined by how you react. You
Right.
can quit. Quitting's easy, or you can keep going and keep fighting. Just depends on what you want to do. I unfortunately am very stubborn and I don't quit. So here we are. 10 years
Right.
later.
So you just posted something about a day or two ago about your Bigfoot. I saw the finish of your Bigfoot character.
Yes, I finally brought Bigfoot. I've teased Bigfoot for many years in the comic. That the character of Jake Weston in the book he's the skeptical one in Terranormal's group, and he used to write articles on kind of debunking ghost stuff, but he'd always liked Bigfoot. So he's got this hypocrisy where he believes in Bigfoot, but he's skeptical about ghost stuff and everything else, but he likes Bigfoot. So we'll actually get to see Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is based on a Kickstarter backer of mine who bought that reward with the Season of Evil campaign to just have a starring role in the book. So this first part that's coming out, I'm going to have it on Amazon so that everybody can get it, because that's
Nice.
the best way. Because, you know, places like Kablam, who I love, they're having a hard time right now, and I want to go through them to do single issues of Paranormal War, because that's something we haven't offered in a long time, a single issue of Paranormal. And so for this next one, though, I always put all the books on Amazon. So Paranormal War will be on Amazon with 2 other short stories with it, and you're going to see Bigfoot. So I'm excited. But it's also very exciting to finally deliver that Kickstarter reward, because it takes a while to do these books. After Season of Evil, I did Float, my memoir, which is like very draining to do because it's about mental health. And I mean, that's kind of rolling right into one another without like a real break was kind of rough. So I did Float, then I did the webcomic collection, and now we're doing Paranormal War. So hopefully, I always feel like I'm lazy. I just have this thing where I'm attacking myself for lazy, but it seems that I'm consistent. So that's what I hope.
I was about to say, you always seem very consistent.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I mean, since 2012, regardless, I've always been following you on Facebook or Twitter and Instagram. And so I've always seen you constantly putting out some type of work, whether it's even just, putting on a green Paranormal shirt on Tara herself to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. You're still always promoting yourself somewhere.
Yeah, she always celebrates the holiday.
But I am glad to find, because I was going to actually ask, where did you get your basis of Bigfoot? Because when I was reading it, and I was reading that, you are real. Yes, I am real. I'm going, why do I hear Santa Claus voice, but he reminds me of Henry from Henry and the Hendersons?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Harry? Harry and the Hendersons? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love Harry and the Hendersons.
I love that movie.
Well, it's based on, so the Bigfoot, originally I was going to make the Kickstarter backer like some almost ringleader, and he was going to have some connection to like sea monsters, because I wanted a group of monsters. It's Paranormal War, so it's going to be like these different groups of the paranormal together, and Tara's like against them, So here's Bigfoot confronting Jake, but I just went, Jake has this connection of Bigfoot. And this book, I'm really throwing everything at the wall. And I was like, why not Bigfoot? The dude's got a beard. My backer has this big beard and stuff. And I was like, well, just make him Bigfoot. But he's got keep his gray hair. Because if I made his hair brown, then it doesn't look like the backer.
Right.
But this makes it look like this is an older Bigfoot, too. This is the Bigfoot. He has gray hair now.
Santa Claus of Bigfoot.
Yes. And it's a new twist on it, because usually Bigfoot has like a weirder face, but I was like, this kind of feels like Mountain Man-ish. And when I drew the guy out, I was like, you can already tell the character. He's got one scene, but you're like, oh, I want to see more of him, which you're going to, in the next chapters. Yeah.
Most people, you think Bigfoot, and you're like, ooh, scary. But this guy, it's like, I want to see more of you. I want to see what you do, because you look like you have this great heart of gold.
Right.
And you're really soft and cuddly.
Yeah, and the guy's face led to that. So that was that's the best part of it. Because the other thing was I could have this all new kind of thing, but I think I'm learning to make it more simple as we go along. And just, Jake specifically always mentions Bigfoot. Always. Oh, in every book he mentions Bigfoot, and he mentioned it in the webcomic, which is a different timeline, but still the same in a way.
Right.
So he's always been after Bigfoot, and gives me a chance to deliver on that. And that's just one of the things that I learned after making the books, deliver on these things that you set up, and really follow through with even if it's a little line. Well, here's Bigfoot. Now he's met Bigfoot, and everybody's going to get a Bigfoot. Yeah.
I also like the fact that it's a bunch of different paranormal characters coming in that Tara's going to have to go up against. Kind of very nostalgic, reminding me of Monster Squad.
Yes.
When they brought in all the monsters. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be a Monster Squad, very inspired by that, and very inspired by Lost Boys. Those are those kind of movies, because they had Monster Squad has legit horror in it. Legit. And that's the last time those monsters were portrayed classically on a major movie. And that's what I love. I love that Wolfman wasn't all bad, because the Wolfman's not bad. It's just when he's, in the wolf form, he can't control it. So he is. So this is very inspired by all of that stuff, because that's what I wanted Paranormal to be. I wanted it to be fun, but it has scary elements, and it has this graphic horror, but it's like fun.
Right.
Like there's Monster Squad has some gross out, really gnarly horror elements, and the language is like adult too, but it's like that's a kids movie. It's so weird. That's like an R-rated kids movie.
Yeah, he grabs that little girl and calls her the B word.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Dracula calls her. Yeah, and I'm like, that's my kind of movie. That's like what I want, and that's what I wanted Paranormal to be. And I don't know. To me, that's a big deal movie. So that's what I wanted to harken back to. So it's like perfect comparison. And yeah, with Paranormal War, it really it wears its heart on its sleeve as far as that being a giant inspiration. And that's what that's what this event will lead into. This first book is the setup, but it's like wall to wall crazy stuff happening. And that's even shown in the colors. So when I'm previewing these new pages I'm doing, the colors are all neon and crazy. And that's, everything from book 1 to book 2 it should show when you flip through each book, you're going to see how things get crazier and crazier, because the first one, you'll see how I used colors and stuff all led to where we're going, all led to this new insanity that's should debut in June, I believe, on Amazon. I think it'll be that quick. Yeah. So
ooh.
you can get the webcomic book and this new Paranormal War book too for your summer. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Now, Tara is obviously your baby. And it's been really amazing watching her go from where she started to where she is now. As the person who created her, how is this how you imagine originally her arc was, or is this just naturally what's come to your mind as you've been adapting her throughout the years?
I had a rough idea of where I wanted her to go, and I think that got like with the webcomic, so I kept it separate. So in my mind, it was the webcomic first, and seeing it that I got to complete that story. There were twists along the way, but I went and still delivered what I wanted was do a comic, but have it really have its foot in the real field of paranormal. So really have the research, but have it in this. What I want is I research this stuff legitimately, like I'm ghost hunting. I'm with the stars of the shows, from Ghost Nation to Ghost Hunters to Kindred Spirits to Portals to Hell. All those major shows, I've been fortunate enough to meet them and call many of them friends, and I see how they do it and how that is. I also like meeting people. Of course, the majority of people are not on the shows, and that they take it very seriously, but they have fun too. And what I wanted to do is show what would happen in a comic book where you do that, because I read a lot of comics. If it's about ghosts, it's just not, I don't feel like it's researched, and they're not usually. It's just,
no,
oh, it's a ghost and look, it's kooky. And
not I like fun ghost stuff. Is a ghost.
They just name drop a ghost and they have ghost in the title or something. And I really wanted to show, I take it very seriously as far as that, but also there's parody elements. Like I can have fun with it, but this Paranormal book series, she investigates, she invents her own tech, which a lot of these guys do. They invent equipment. It's like Ghostbusters was very much based in reality. Dan Aykroyd's family, that's what they were, paranormal researchers. So that's why it's so good. Well, look what happens when you can research and you actually care. And I just see a lot of things that'll be like, oh, it's a ghost book, and I read them and I'm like, there's no, it's not even based on it. So I wanted the shows are represented. So Tara goes against a bad version of the show, like where they're jerks, like they're jerks. Cause I always liked Mad Magazine and I wanted to do parody. So you have parody of like even, shows and, but it's all filmed like that. You see the cameraman and stuff. It's just, unfortunately they get eaten, by evil ghosts. So that's not going to happen on the show, but in this reality it can. So I wanted to show what would happen if Paranormal's real, but then there's also these ghost shows going on in reality shows, and it's a fun battle between the two, because that shows are getting hurt because here's somebody that just is flat out like, here's ghosts, here's proof, boom, and I can fight them. And that's just a fun thing that where her actions of doing that, well, they pushed back, and now they're like, they're pretty desperate for attention, and that's what it's all a fun like storyline of how they really want the spotlight back, and how far are they willing to go, and they're willing to go pretty far, as you can see in the next book. So I imagined that, but I didn't imagine where it goes. So I'm pretty open. I don't have a strict outline. I have a definite end. In case, because the series, I like doing different timelines of her. So I looked at the web comic. You can now read it in its complete, but it also leads into this other timeline, which is the graphic novels. And it makes it easier for me to explain when we do shows again. Because people are always like, where do I start? I'm like, start wherever you want.
It's like Howie's just created his own infinite universe.
Yeah, I watch, my wife, Shelly, watches a lot of the Ancient Aliens. So I'm getting all that stuff too. I mean, I'm getting, because she's watching it, at night when you're in bed and you're sleeping, it's still playing. So
it gets in your head when you're sleeping. Yeah.
It's ingrained in me, all this ancient alien history. So that's in the webcomic. But I knew that stuff beforehand too. But now I know. I mean, I've really watched over 100 episodes of this thing because it's just nonstop playing.
I think one of the reasons why I love Tara is because I've always been interested in the paranormal. I used to do little ghost hunting, nothing like what the professionals do, because I don't have that type of money or technology. But I used to go. I've seen ghosts. I've had my own experiences. And it's really interesting to watch, Tara, because yes, you can see that you've done the research. You know what you're talking about, but you can see the humor and the aspect of, like you said, there's just that little bit of parody to it. And not to mention, you have a girl who can literally, when you say she can fight ghosts, you literally mean she can punch a ghost.
Yes, she can punch ghosts with her bare hands. She has supernatural ability to see and speak to them, but also interact with them physically. So she doesn't need like a proton blaster, which is awesome, but you can't do that because it's already done. You can't do that. So I had to go a different route, and she can actually fight them, and get into it. And there's different forms of ghosts, just like in real, in the real paranormal research, they say there's different kinds. Residual haunting would just be something in your house where you would hear floor creaking the same way. So it's as if it's a tape. So that's not like an intelligent haunting. An intelligent haunting is, it says your name or something crazy.
Intelligence, when it actually interacts with you, responds to you. Residual is basically just like an imprint left, whether it's a certain moan at a certain time of the year or the floor creaking. It's just an imprint.
On repeat, like
it does. Yeah, it does. What's that movie? I can't remember. Steve Guttenberg's in it. It's like High Spirits or something like that.
Yeah, High Spirits.
And they're all kind of like residual until he actually interacted with them, and then it stopped being. But
right. So
that
has
doesn't
basis
work.
in real stuff. So whoever did that knew did research, which is always awesome. Yeah, and so I wanted to. There's different ghosts in this. So where she calls them, like, there's the blue ones, blue ghosts, because a lot of times in shows and books, ghosts are blue. I say the blue ones are harmless. So you got to show the difference, So they can still be creepy looking, but they're harmless. And then there's other ones that are rotters, and they're like mean, twisted looking evil ghosts. Those are the ones she has to punch. So she's not out there destroying innocent Casper the ghost kind of things.
Right.
Or the spirit of your grandmother, she's not going in and punching her. But,
and again, that's fantastic that you do that, because not all. Here's the thing: is like people go, "Oh, it's a ghost! Oh my gosh!" Not all ghosts are evil. Some ghosts are, and if some ghosts aren't ghosts, you might want to go looking into demonology, people.
Demonology is very popular. I don't go near that. I do in the book. I don't do it in real life. I don't want to have anything to do with.
No.
I'll leave that to other people. That crosses.
I walk in. We're being haunted. Oh, it's a demon. I'm out. Bye.
No, I don't want to. It's very rare too. But I have talked to a demonologist before, and they take it very seriously. And I I'm freaked out by the subject. Like, I'm still scared of The Exorcist. The Exorcist still freaks me out. I mean, to this day, that's like, I don't even own a copy of The Exorcist because it scares me that much. Still freaks me out, and I respect it as a great movie, But that's like us really. That's a top horror movie for me, because it's
top horror movie all time.
Yeah, the subject matter is. I'm not a fan of that subject matter because it was portrayed so really well, And
oh yeah.
But I want the thing that I want is, even if I always wanted my books to be like, if you're into ghosts, you're gonna love the book, and if you're skeptical, you'll love the book. There's still stuff in there, and that's what surprises a bunch of people. If you have dogs, sorry, we have pugs. I think they have control of the whole house. So.
Look, with 2 cats and 2 dogs, I have learned animals rule, and you just have to adapt to them.
They've gone insane. I think the pandemic has gotten to them. It's out of control here.
Well, Howie, thank you so much. I'm so happy we made it past the 5-minute mark, by the way.
You have internet. All right.
But thank you so much for spending time with me today. Thank you for bringing us up to date with what's going on with Tara and everything else that you're working on. Obviously, I've already linked everything over into the chat if you want to go catch any of his stuff out. There we go. Check it out. Look at it.
Hey, be available very soon. You can go on Indiegogo right now and reserve your copy.
But also, tell them where they can find you on all of your social medias.
I'm at hcnoel.com. That's my website. You can go check out my comics there right now. And then we're also, right there it is. It's down there. I'm trying to get there. Right there, hcnoel.com. On Twitter, I'm hcnoel. hcnoel. Look at the boom. Very good. Also, Tara Normal has a Twitter, Tara_normal. That's all her tweets, not me. And then Instagram is Howie Noel. You got that one? Oh, there we go. Instagram is Howie Noel. And then Tara has a Facebook, which is Tara Normal Activity. And once a day or so, I'll post content and fun stuff, and also fun paranormal stories, So anything paranormal, I'll usually put on there and have a quippy comment in her voice. That's where it is. And let me know if you follow me from the show. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Howie. We're going to let you go ahead and take care of your dogs, and we will see you real soon.
Who knows what they've done?
No kidding. Bye.
Bye.